everyone, I hope you are doing great. In this video, we will cover pair value gaps, addressing the concepts of a fair value gap, busy, SIBI, consequent encroachment, and inversion. Additionally, we'll discuss the distinctions between a fair value gap, volume and balance, and a gap. Let's begin by understanding what a fair value gap is. It is a three-candlestick pattern where the first candle's low does not overlap with the third candle's high, or where the first candle's high does not overlap with the third candle's low. Delving deeper into this, if we extend the low and high of certain candles and observe no overlap, it constitutes a fair value gap. In the given example, the candlestick's high does not overlap with its low, making it a fair value gap. Similarly, another instance demonstrates a fair value gap where the high of one candle does not overlap with the low of another. Now that you comprehend what a fair value gap looks like, let's clarify what it doesn't look like. If we were to extend the low of one candle downward and the high of another upward, and yet they still overlap, then it does not constitute a fair value gap. The same applies in another scenario where extending the high and low of the candles reveals overlapping, indicating the absence of a fair value gap. To reiterate, a fair value gap arises when there is a gap between the low of the first candle and the high of the third candle, or between the high of the first candle and the low of the third candle. Now, let's examine a few examples for better understanding. We will explore several examples of identifying fair value gaps. Let's examine this section where we have the first candle's low extended and the third candle's high extended, creating a gap between them, forming a fair value gap. Another fair value gap emerges when the low of one candle does not overlap with the high of another, leading to a strong move in the opposite direction. Moving on to SIBI and busy. A SIBI represents a sell-side imbalance, indicating that the sell side was offered, but the buy side wasn't, causing a bearish fair value gap. Conversely, a busy refers to a buy-side imbalance, where the buy side was offered, but the sell side wasn't, resulting in a bullish fair value gap. In this price section, we can observe a bearish fair value gap, signaling that the sell side was offered while the buy side was inefficient, forming a SIBI. At another point, price displays a bullish fair value gap or a busy as it offered the buy side but not the sell side.